Hi, it's Chris Croft here from successfultrainers.com, helping people to get into a career as a self-employed management trainer. And one of the questions I get asked is, do I need a sales brochure? Now, obviously, we have websites now which are far better. You could put more on a website than you could ever have in a really massive sales brochure. And you can constantly be updating your website with new things that you're doing. You can change the prices just like that. The last thing you want is somebody coming to you with a really old sales brochure with a really cheap price in there from 5 years ago. And of course, you can have a blog on your website. So sales brochures, I would say, are gone. I would say don't print anything apart from a business card. No sales brochure. But it is good to have something you can leave with the customer. And obviously, you would leave them with a business card. I also quite like to leave them with the little cards that I give out on my training courses. So I have these little white cards, which are just basically a summary of the subject. So this is my project management card. And I've got about 30 of these. I'm a bit over the top, but you might just perhaps teach 5 subjects and you might have 5 cards. And if they're interested in a particular subject, give them the card, but also give them the other 4, because who knows what else they might want in the future. And if it's a nice plastic card like that, they're going to keep it. Now, I have tried all sorts of other promotional items over the years. I'm not really in favor of pens because pens run out. But I did make this project management pen, which I think is pretty cool. So this actually pulls out, and on the other side, there's lots of details about me. So I did get some project management pens made. They're about £1 or £2 each, so that's quite a lot. But if you give one to each delegate, then they will keep it and they'll remember you until the pen runs out. That's the only snag with pens. I have made a rather good promotional red herring. And the red herring, of course, got my website on the other side. And this is a squidgy stress herring. And the idea of this is that you leave it in the middle of a meeting table so that anybody can accuse anybody else of going off track by just reaching for the herring and then waving it at them. And that's to say, I think we've gone off track, have we? And people love my red herring. I quite often only give out one when I do a training course and they leave it in their meeting room. But if I do a talk for a bunch of managing directors, I give each of them their own personal herring. Now, one of the problems with things like this is you've got to get 1,000 made at a time, and they're probably going to cost about £1 or £1.50 each. So you're talking about a bit of money tied up with herrings. I've also had some fridge magnets made, and this is my happiness magnet. And it actually spells out MAGNET are the words which contribute to increasing your happiness. And that's a fridge magnet I've made. I just thought it had to be done since it spelt out the word magnet. Fridge magnets are pretty cheap to get made. And if you can make sure you add some value, if there's going to be something useful, top tips for success or efficiency or something like that, people might keep it on their fridge. So that's an option. Obviously, they're small to travel with, to bring with you when you do a training course. So I think fridge magnets are an option for a promotional item. Obviously, there are books. I've made a separate video about that, but absolutely, you must have your own mini book that you can give away to people on courses and to potential customers. I did experiment with calendars for a while. So this is a calendar that opens up and stands on your desk, and you've got me on your desk for a whole year advertising. And each week it's got something useful. So I made these calendars, but the problem with these calendars, they cost a couple of pounds to make. And then when you're sending them out, it's another £1 or £2 to post them. So if you send them out to a mailing list, they start to get quite expensive. And they're pretty seasonal. Obviously, you can really only give them out in sort of October, November, December time if you're giving them out on courses. So you are going to probably have to send them. So I think calendars probably are no good. The final thing I've made is a pack of cards, and these took a lot of work to make because you have to upload each card to the website, but they are rather nice. It cost a few pounds, so they start to get a bit expensive to give out to people. But each card has a management tip. I've made a happiness set and a management set. So those are my cards. Again, I think these you could probably give to a customer, but you might not want to give them to all the course delegates because you're talking about quite a bit of money when you start to give them out. But if you're doing high-level type presenting, you can do it. Or you can say to the customer, I want to give everybody a pack of cards. Can I add that to the cost? And you might be able to nibble that on top of the fee. If you're doing small numbers of people, then it's not going to add up to too much. But of course, if you talk to a conference with 300 people and the cards are a £5 each to get made, you're talking serious money that the customer's going to have to add on to the fee. So I think of all of the items, I think the fish is quite interesting, but that's very subject dependent. But I think the absolute no-brainer is some sort of little white mini pocket card. And these cost 20p to make. I stopped making them for a while, and then I met somebody who'd kept my negotiating card in his wallet for 10 years. And I thought, well, that is such a great promotional item. I'm going to have to go back to making those. So I think a mini card is my top promotional item. But of course, you really do have to have a little book as well. But whatever you do, don't just make a boring brochure that's all about you. It's got to add some value for the customer. So anything you print has got to have, a top 10 useful tips or something like that on it so that the customer will keep it. Anyway, these are the sorts of things that we ponder on my Successful Trainers program. If you're interested, if you want to learn about how to become a successful freelance trainer, then please do contact me. Just go to successfultrainers.com or click on the link below this video and book a call with me. We can talk. Maybe I can help you to get into doing the best job in the world. Bye for now.